What is that?
There's
a rumor that you invented scat singing. Is that true?
Well, they claim when we was recording Heebie Jeebies, and we get on to this part for the second chorus, and I dropped the paper, and the president in the control booth, he says, keep on singing, see?
Yeah.
Well, that brought back memories when I was a kid going around in the quartet on Rampart Street in New Orleans, where we get to the part we didn't know the words. We'd go to scatting and blowing like a trumpet or something like that, and it came to me just like that.
I wonder where.
And we didn't spoil the master or nothing. So when we finished, Mr. Foreign, he said, well, Satchmo, this is where scat was born. See, now he said it, but I mean, they give me that monocle, you know. But that's where scat was supposed to start, you know.
Yeah.
But Jelly Roll Morton claimed that he and some comedian used to scat way back there in the 80s or something. But I wasn't born then. I wouldn't argue with him. I couldn't argue with him.
When were you born?
1900.
Yeah. So
12 o'clock at night.
It is. It's 12 at night?
Yeah, they call me.
So how did they know whether your birthday was on the... your birthday's on the... I thought it was on the 4th.
Well, no, I didn't ask Mama all that. I was just glad to be here. And I wouldn't interfere with her business. You know?
No, I wouldn't. You're talking about in the early days in New Orleans when you were a kid. What kind of a neighborhood did you grow up in?
Well, there's all nice people. That's all I can say. I mean, growing up as a kid, I mean, they didn't do anything that would hurt us, and they didn't tell us anything wrong. And quite naturally, when they'd have their good times at night around the honky-tonks and things like that, most of the kids was in bed in their way. They didn't pay no attention. You know, you can get used to anything. And they went right to schoolhouse and right in the neighborhood and everything. But
there were a lot of very racy neighborhoods in the...
Well, yeah, you find that in every inner city, but New Orleans was the beginning, you know.
Yeah.
Down there where the pimps and
others.
Kiddies and things, you know.
How did the kids stay out of trouble with all that around him?
Well, that's what I say. A lot of the kids, at night when they're getting kind of late, moms would make them go to bed anyway, you know, because it didn't start till late. The honky-tonks didn't open up until almost midnight and run till the kids was on their way to school. And a whole lot of things they didn't pay no attention to, you know.
Your mother made you go to bed early?
Well, when she could catch me, you know, I mean, I'd slip around. I had to hear Joe Oliver blow one time before I went to bed, and it was kind of late.
Yeah.
But I made up all right. I mean, I didn't overdo it. And sometimes the kids, you know, they look so old, around 14 or 15, on account of that sun and stuff like that. So all they do is put on long pants, and they can stay up in the honky-tonks like everybody else. Nobody pay no attention to it, because they look...
They thought they were older.
They look older, yeah. Sure.
Did you ever think when you were a kid back there in New Orleans that one day your name would be internationally famous?
No, you don't think about things like that. I was just so glad to sit in the band with guys like King Oliver and Johnny Dodds, Sidney Bechet, and them greats. That was my happiness. See, the average guy, when he comes to be a star, the public wish that on him and things like that. Because I was just satisfied sitting at tailgate there in the wagons, and another wagon would pull up on the corner, and then would chain the wheels, and that was my kicks, you know, trying to blow that cat out of the wagon there. But the public makes sure things like that. You know?
Do you live lavishly?
Well, I live normally, just the nice things. I mean, I don't ask for nothing I can't get, and I always like good things, you know. And that's all you need, you know. You don't have to put a sign on the back. But I mean, nice wall-to-wall bed at home. Get that 3 scarves, you know.
The only person I know who has a wall-to-wall bed.
Oh, they got them. They just don't want to let you know about it. I bet you got one. I bet you got one.
I'm lucky to have walls.
Well, I never did care for twin beds. No.
You frown on that, do you?
Well, I don't know. It's a little too rough, man. By the time you get over the other bed, you're so tired. You get tired tying them together, you know. Oh, get that big one, and that's it, you know.
You should publish a book of household tips.
Well, I mean, that'll cost a little more, but I mean, in the long run.
Yeah. You get tired of being on the road, traveling
Well,
around?
no, my wife's with me a lot of time, most of the time. When we go all over the world, she's right there. And so I ain't no way for me to get homesick, you know. So, I mean, we do the usual things. It's all necessary.
Do you like having a fuss made over you when you have all of these events honoring you?
No, that's what I said in bargain for that. Coming up from New Orleans, I mean, all the cats here, we'd play a street parade, a funeral, and all my gang would be behind, you know, second line and raggedy cats, and blow it, Dipper, my name was Dipper, about to blow it, blow that funeral march so pretty, the cats wiping their eyes. As soon as we put that cat in the ground, and we come back swinging, Disney Ramble, and everybody's getting ready to really rock then, you know, because he's gone. He can't do nothing, you know. So we rejoice for the dead down there.
You rejoice?
Yeah, they don't mope too much, you know. And I like New Orleans for the music it played, even in the brass band. They swung just like an orchestra, you know. Ta-ta-ta-ta, nothing. And cats, when they hit Panama and King Oliver and Manny Parade and get the blow in Panama, all them raggedy cats in the second line would make him take an encore in the streets, you know, in brass band. You know, they're wailing, yeah.
Do you have all your records?
Yes, sir.
Do you have them all?
Every one of them.
Yeah. That's a valuable collection.
I put them on
because
tape.
there's some that are...
Yeah, well, it's nice to have because that's my life story in them tapes, and all I got to do is just reach up there and play one. I can write articles for hours just for one reel, you know, the things that went down, and memories, and things like that. And then I write other cats, and they answer. From New Orleans, I get a lot of food for thoughts.
Didn't you write? I read somewhere that you had written. I wish I could shimmy like my sister Kate. Is that a true story?
Yeah, well, I was young then. I didn't know about no copyright and all that stuff. You know what I mean? The cat come up and say, well, I'll give you $50 for that song. And it's the first time I heard the name $50 way back there in 1917, you know? So that's what it was, and a promise. But when I look around, the song's a big hit. I ain't got that 50 yet. You know, that's where they
Somebody
put
made a lot of money on
that
it.
okey doke on you, yeah.
Now,
But I got hip after that, you know.
After that, you learned.
Well, I come into putting that dollar on them tunes and sending them to Washington like everybody else, you know. I wrote Strutting with Some Barbecue and Someday and If We Never Meet Again with Horace Gorlak and a lot of good ones.
What was the original title of Sister Kate?
We used to call it Get Off of Katie's Head, and that wasn't good enough title. They changed it later.
Get Off of Katie's Head?
Yeah,
That's the original title?
I didn't know what else to call it. Get Off of Katie's Head.
Yeah.
I don't know why we said it.
I'll ask what that means.
But they changed it.
When you were back in the old days in Chicago, that must have been the most wide open period of that city. Was it kind of rough then? Did you have to be careful going home at night?
Well, when I went to Chicago, it was in 1922, when I was 22 years old. And I went up there to play second cornet rather, with King Oliver, you know, at the Lincoln Gardens. And in those days, it wasn't that bad that you had to be careful that you would be held up or something like that. But during the days of the gangsters, it was kind of rough, you know.
Did you run into any gangsters?
From that era. Well, when I went to the Sunset, which was owned by Mr. Joe Glazer, my manager after that, I used to see a lot of the boys sitting around, and Al Capone and his brigade would come in, you know.
Saw Al Capone?
Yeah, many times.
Was it true that he came in with a bunch of bodyguards?
Oh, he always had you think he was general of the army or something. He had so many cats to take care of him, yeah. And then we gave a dance at the army right next to the Sunset, and the whole gang of them cats come in, had a long table. I had a chance to say a few words to them.
Were they, did it make you nervous to have them sitting there?
No, they're ordinary people till something start, you know.
Yeah.
But just to sit there, I mean, and they're the ones that gave us big tips to play things for them in the band.
Yeah.
And we had a singer called Melix who used to sing and slide at the end of the floor when somebody put $1 down, she'd slide and make a split and pick up that dollar. And Those gangsters, man, they had that floor lined with dollars. Cats were walking around, and she'd just slide and pick all of them up. And we had a lot of fun there. Nobody got hurt.
Nobody got hurt?
No, no. You don't mess with them, they don't mess with you. You know what I mean? I didn't know any of them that personally, and they liked our music. And I was blowing them blues for them cats, you know.
Well, did you ever...
Well, we had some bad boys in New Orleans. Are you kidding? We had some boys just as tough as Al Capone's boys right there in New Orleans. When I was coming up selling newspapers, and they followed my life up, you know, from the time I left the Hunky Tonks to come up north and blow. And I went down there in 1931 to play at the Suburban Garden. It was a roadhouse, and radio was just about 5 years in. And you never heard of no spade playing on no radio in those days, just starting. And you know what the life was, all strictly buffet. 5,000 Negroes right on that levee. It was a levee, right by the levee. They listened to that music. See, now I'd been away about 9 or 10 years, and I done got northern fire. I done forgot about a whole lot of that foolishness down there, you know. So anyway, the night we opened, and I'm shy, man, and there's a place packing jam. It was owned by the Dalton brothers.
Were they bad cats?
They had gambling there and dig this.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think I was in Chicago anyway, you know, go up to the mic and make my own announcements and different things like that, or the announcer bring you to the mic, and then you tear out, you know. But this night, they done propped this man up to just a big deal. Now you bring on Louis Armstrong, he's a New Orleans boy, and blah, blah, blah. So I'm straight, you know, all the boys said, this is nice. But a second before this cat had to go to that mic and bring me on, he walked away and said, I just can't introduce that nigga. Can't do it. So the Dalton boys want to wash him with him, you know what I mean? But anyhow, they come to me and told me what he says. I said, well, don't worry about it, you know? I said, give me a card, boys. And I walked to that mic, and then, da-da, shim, and I walked to that mic. And before I opened my mouth, there's all the white boys that I was raised with, you know, sitting up there, sharp, done got rich. Their fathers done left them the produce places and different things. They were, when we was kids, we'd hang around, and after school, we'd go out in the lots and play cowboys and Indians with old broken slates and things like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We was the Indians. Oh yeah, we fight one. And I've stood there 20 minutes, and they hollering, Dipper, Satch, blah, 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 blah. And when I went into pale moon shining, man, you thought the walls was coming in. And this announcer standing there, you say, well, I didn't know this would happen in the South in New Orleans. It never happened before. So they fired him and everything, and I took over myself.